7/10 of the Earth's surface lies beneath the sea, and for centuries its islands and continents have beckoned seafarers in the name of exploration, trade, and the promises of riches and adventure. Without the constant search for new lands by mariners, the world may well have stayed flat, leaving much undiscovered and unnamed. By the end of the 18th century, only the mythical Great Southern Land, Terra Australis, remained open to the imagination of European sea powers. At the time, James Cook was a warrant officer in the Royal Navy. He was quickly promoted to lieutenant so he could take command of the Endeavour. A skillful seaman, astronomer, mathematician and cartographer, he left Plymouth in August 1768 to observe the transit of Venus in Tahiti and to seek out the last undiscovered continent. Even Cook himself doubted whether such a land existed, and yet it would become a country discovered by sailors, settled by sailors, governed by sailors, and finally protected and fought for by sailors.
Wednesday, 18th of April, 1770. Winds southerly, a hard gale with heavy squalls, attended with showers of rain and a great sea from the same quarter. Last night we saw a Port Egmont hen, and this morning 2 more, a pintado bird, several albatross and black shearwaters. The first of these birds are certain signs of the nearness of land. Indeed, we cannot be far from it. Thursday the 19th. In the evening had fresh gales at south-southwest and a cloudy, squally weather with a large southerly sea. At 5 set the topsails close reefed, and at 6 saw land extending from north to west. I have named it Point Hicks, because Lieutenant Hicks was the first who discovered this land. What we have as yet seen of this land appears rather low and not very hilly, the face of the country green and woody, but the seashore is all white sand. Friday the 20th. At 1 p.m. saw 3 waterspouts at once. 2 were between us and the shore, and 1 at some distance. The weather, being clear, gave us an opportunity to view the country, which had a very agreeable and promising aspect. The land is of a moderate height, diversified with hills, ridges, plains and valleys, with some few small lawns, but for the most part the whole was covered with wood. Saturday the 21st. In the evening we saw the smoke of a fire in several places, a certain sign the country is inhabited. Saturday the 28th. In the evening hoisted out the pinnace in order to attempt a landing, but the pinnace took in the water so fast that she was obliged to be hoisted in again to stop her leaks. At this time we saw several people ashoreful, of whom were carrying a small boat or canoe, which we imagined they were going to put into the water in order to commune with us, but in this we were mistaken. The great quantity of new plants Mr. Banks and Dr. Solander collected in this place occasioned my giving it the name of Botany Bay.
20 years later, the Royal Navy's first fleet sailed into Botany Bay under the command of Captain Phillip, with its sailors and officers among Australia's first white settlers and governors to colonise the new land. It would be another 125 years before another first fleet sailed through Sydney Heads in 1913, when Britain finally allowed Australia the formation of its own hard-fought-for navy. With emotions running high, the moment was described by the Defence Minister, Senator Millen.
Since Captain Cook's arrival, no more memorable event has happened than the advent of the Australian fleet. As the former marked the birth of Australia, so the latter announces its coming of age, its recognition of the growing responsibilities of nationhood to discharge them as a duty to both itself and to the Empire. The Australian fleet is not merely the embodiment of force, it is the expression of Australia's resolve to pursue in freedom its national ideals and to hand down, unimpaired and unsullied, the heritage which it has received and which it holds and cherishes as an inviolable trust. It is in this spirit that Australia welcomes its fleet, not as an instrument of war, but as the harbinger of peace.
Within months, Australia would be at war.